Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing and football tips for Saturday the 8th of March. Well, I'm sat outside and I'm in my painting coat because it's a bit nippy. There's my little tribute to my chicken, don't know if you can see it, the one that passed away, so I'm just spending 10 minutes with it while the other two nightmares are just moaning in corner. I'll show you them in a minute when they come round. Anyway, you're not interested in that. So, let me talk you through it. I've put the bets already. So what I've done is I'm outside. Obviously I've already said that, so I'm keeping my voice down a bit. So the bets I've had are, I think it's something like a 5 pence each way. You're lucky 63. Then I made it into a bit of a power pack one where I've had 50p each way doubles. No, I haven't. I've had 50p each way singles. Some like 15 pence each way doubles and 10 pence each way trebles. So I'm going to get into it. So I'm not going to go into depth about the horses. There's a builder bet there. That's literally, they put a father in my account. I can tell you what it is if you want. It's a Forest versus Man City. I wouldn't normally have a bet, and I haven't had a bet. It's just the fact that it's a free bet. So it's a builder bet, and it's a £5 stake, and it's Forest to win. Yes, both teams to score. Basically, over 2.5 goals and two corners for each team. That's 1 to 20. But that 1 to 20 took it from 9 to 2 to 5 to 1 for the entire odds. So I thought, well, why not? If that don't come up, I mean the 1 to 20 chance. So I'll get down to Lucky 63 because they're the same selections. So, as I said, it's a 5 pence each way, Lucky 63. In fact, I'll tell you what the bet is. I know you don't place it, but it's a 5 pence each way, Lucky 63, 15p each way doubles, 10p each way trebles, 50p each way singles. So the first selection is Peso in the 150 at Sandown, 6 places instead of 4. I saw this horse when it ran behind one of William Mullins's, I think it was something like Catterick or Doncaster. It was comfortably beaten, but it still ran a decent race. I think the other horse is pretty decent. It was better on the day anyway, as in like it was higher rated. Peso was up against it that day. It won well previously. I think there's still room for improvement. I think it's crying out for this step up in trip. Yeah, it's going from 2 miles to 2 mile 3.5 furlong. I do believe the sire is Scirocco, so it should love this extra distance. Very competitive race. They're paying first six, so I'm not confident it'll win, but I do think it'll run a nice race. And I think there's a number of stables to keep an eye on for Cheltenham, but I think John Joe Neal is definitely one of them. Don't get me wrong, he's not going to win any Gold Cups, in my opinion, or Champion Hurdles or anything like that, but he might have the odd handicap blot on the handicap. I'll call it that. He may have a very well handicapped horse at some point at Cheltenham. I'll be having a study at Cheltenham today. I don't really normally look to the last minute because anything can happen. There's no rain forecast. I looked up then because my chicken looked up, not because it's going to rain. It's a blue sky above me. Don't get me wrong. There's the odd chemtrail above. In fact, there's plenty of chemtrails. There you go, and this what you can see up there in distance. But there's my chicken. Don't know if you can see it. It's one just pottering around. That's the leader of the pack. Well, there's only two now, as you're well aware. Gutted, but yeah, extremely tame. In fact, I'm going to pick one up and show you before the end of the video. I'm sure you'll love that as well. The second selection is Lump Sum. About this one last time when it ran a cracker, travelling well, finished second behind Joyeuse in a competitive race. I think it was at Newbury. I just expect it to run well again. Don't get me wrong, there's less room for improvement because it's been up to, I think, £3 again. So they are taking away its possible edge in races because it keeps going up in the handicap without regularly winning. Yeah, and that's in the 225 at Sandown. 6 places once again instead of 4. Third selection is Local Hero in the 245 at Wolverhampton. That's just a money back special. Forget that. So this horse, I do like the look of it. It's Richard Hannon, and I think it's Joe Levy on board. I will say, I do believe you should be keeping an eye on Richard Hannon and Sean Levy. Just as the flat season starts, I think they're going to hit the ground running. Richard Hannon, quite often at the beginning of the season, has a more recently than in the past, has a decent strike rate. It tends to do well in these big handicaps, something like the Lincoln. He used to have regular runners in the Brocklesby, but he doesn't seem to anymore. His horses seem to be decent, but his 2 year old seem to come on for the run now. But Local Hero, I do think it'll run a decent race. Fourth selection is at Air, and it's Ruby Island in the 250 at Air, paying 4 places instead of 3. So this horse, so I'm surrounded by foxes, so every time a chicken looks up or looks startled, I have to have a quick look round. Ruby Island, it's Danny McMenamin and Nicky Richards. They seem to do really well at Air and on a Saturday as well, so I think it's got a chance. It's about third favourite. Peso's 11-1, Ruby Sun's 8-1, Logo Hero's about 17-2, and Ruby Island's about 11-2. All that can change because it's Sky Bet. Come on then. Come on then. Oi. Come on. The next selection is Witch Hunter. I like the look of this one. The problem is the jockey is Jamie Spencer. Anything can happen. He'll either win in a canter or be the unluckiest horse in training. So it's Witch Hunter in the 320 at Wolves, 3 places instead of 2. This one will be towards the back and will come with a late run, and I think that's why they booked Jamie Spencer. Court of Session, I can't ignore this one. It's ridiculously well handicapped, and it's Phil McEntee. If they want this horse to win, so there's a magpie knocking around. I've just seen it in window. If they want this horse to win, I think it's capable of winning. It's just that, are they still trying to get the handicap mark down or not? I don't know. But I did like the look of Court of Session, but I also like the look of the Scott Dixon horse, Harbour Vision. But you never know what kind of race the Scott Dixon horses are going to run. And so that is it for the horses. So let me just tell you something interesting as well. I haven't placed a football bet yet, but I'm going to show you what it is. So what I did was I went to my friend ChatGPT. So let me just scroll up. Forget all this. Just bear with me. So what I put into ChatGPT is, based on the fixtures and the league tables below, please tell me which 3 matches out of this entire list is likely to yield the most goals, and tell me how many. I was a bit confused why it told me specifically Bristol City, but that was the first team in the big pasted list that I put in. That's why it gave me a bit of an odd result at the end. But I'm scrolling down to the results. So, based on the fixtures, league tables, and goals scored and conceded, here are the 3 matches most likely to yield the highest number of goals. So, in my bet, it would be a £7 over 2.5 goals treble and a £3 over 3.5 goals treble. The first selection will be Plymouth Argyle versus Sheffield Wednesday. Basically says Plymouth 36 goals scored, 70 conceded, worst defensive record in the league. This means nothing, by the way, but it's just a bit of an angle to try and use. Plymouth versus Wickham and Doncaster versus Swindon. So that is the over 2.5 and over 3.5 goals treble. Give me 1 second. The chicken's just about to go in arse. Who's this boy? Come on, hey? You're famous. You're famous, ducky. Hey? 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 Is this what you've wanted? So anyway, who else? What you tell me? What other horse racing tipster finishes their videos like this? Eh? With a bird in his arms. So, what are you doing? Eh? Who's that? What's that? Eh? What's this? Eh? You like that? So, on that note, I wish you the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate. Right, now I need to find the